pipe is dead straight and really only popular and really only a thing from about, I think, 1865, really. By 1863 they were already outdated. Most of these so-called, they say the stovepipe era from 1825, especially 35 to 1865, it is because they are very high hats, but they're not stovepipe, they're more like that shape. Or sometimes like this. This was more into the 1830s, it was kind of dead by 45, this shape that it goes like that. Also when like that, this was also relatively rare, even those that go like that, if you observe on the photograph, they're ever so slightly sort of bent at the beginning, they're not completely bell-shaped. Sort of ladder and like this, and then they go bell-shaped. And often it's like kind of like that with valves, like they taper in, but sometimes they taper in and it's more. But whatever, you get the idea. So this is the top hat era, and it's just so normal to wear top hats that they kind of wore top hats for every occasion. So they had different, especially higher up you went to society. So by 1849, the big era of top hats, even more popular than the 1830s. Probably 1840s and 50s was the era, the 20 years, in the golden age of top hats. This was the golden age of the golden age, it was the 40s and 50s. So this is right spot on it. This is, and the golden age of the golden age of the golden age would probably be the most golden age decade would probably be the 1850s. This is almost 1850s, 49. So this Lord Thomas Cook, we had lots of land, I think, in northern England. I think it was northern England, it was in England anyhow. And I think in his employment, often at times when he was there doing lots of hands, up to 20 or even more, what do you call them? Stable lads? No, gamekeepers. Keeping the game, keeping the animals, right? But at least constantly 10 were employed, I think. At the time, 10 were there. And they had top hats. So they probably matched this height, if not shorter. And they will not be this, they will not be like that. They will basically make them with the gossamer. So they had already invented hunting caps by the late 18th century. Now hunting caps use gossamer because the idea was having a protective riding helmet that was still not super heavy, not like an iron helmet, and still gave the same protection and would not break even at a full galloping speed if you hit a big branch, and the branch would break but not the hat. The top, the cloth would probably be damaged, but the hat was just fine, as if nothing had happened, literally as if nothing had happened. So you may think, well, 4 plies of gossamer like here is enough. But look, even here there's some flexibility, just barely pressure, right? And this is still 4 plies. So you might say, oh come on, 6 plies. Well, but imagine you were and you was 4 galloping speed and you hit a branch and they could literally, I tried a riding helmet, more than one recently, but you can literally stand on it and do a tap dance. The structure of the hat will flex a teeny bit, but nothing, not the slightest dent will occur. Because also, when they lost them hitting with branches, horses with their big hooves, this huge beast would stampede them and the hat would be just fine, right? So, to break it, you would literally require a very strong person holding it, like a sort of, Chuck Norris holding it down, or even Rambo, and I would take not a hammer, a sledgehammer, and try to break, probably perhaps 3 times. I would perhaps, it is because it's flexible, it might not even make a hole. It might simply have these sort of cracks and completely bend it with a sledgehammer, using all my might. And you would have to pin it down with might force, because otherwise the hat would just bounce back and be fine and just land somewhere. So it means it's not much stiffer than, even this is super stiff, but this is super fragile because there's only 1 ply. This you might think is sort of a nerd. So how did they make it? You go on hunting hats, I already talked about it. So they take a very thick piece of felted fur. I'm almost certain it is felted, and so it does not have the skin, but it is super thick. Think the thickest cow keeper, what people call cowboy hat, but the thickest of the thickest of the thickest, so it's super thick. And for at least 2 to 3 weeks, at least 10 days, and I think 2 weeks minimum, it is being cooked. It's cooked or dipped, or it is left to marinate in a solution of spirit of melusine thingy chemicals to completely, it will kind of harden it, kind of make it less thick, but not by much. It's still very thick and super duper hard. Like you think this is hard, this sort of antique cardboard box, the original over there, it is flexible, like this is nothing compared. Then they put it above, so this is how to make hand caps or any, you really don't understand, so the actual, think of the actual hand caps, just a visor, and I think they make the visor the same, although it is a separate piece. But I think it has to be the same, otherwise if the density is not the same, well, it offers less protection, it is less strong to resist, but also it will not really adhere, right? Because then when you pick it up from there, for example, even if it is 6 layers of gossamer, 6 layers of gossamer will not equal the other thing, the crown. So when you keep picking it up from there, it will sort of detach, because they can't really saw through that. So it is only adhering with the glue, and the glue being that shellac. So I don't think they stitch anything on that. It cannot stitch through, and it will just make it weaker, and it will just not work. So this is all finished, this is the beginning, the methods to fixing. So then they pull it above a head block, right, on the shape they want, the hand cap size they want, and to apply a raw coat of shellac on that crown, and apply a gossamer sheet. Let it sort of dry, apply another coat of shellac, apply another gossamer sheet. So I think it will be kind of as thick as that. This, I think, the brim of that derby is clearly gossamer. I think it is actually 3 plies, but it looks like a 2 ply because it was not like that. Now it became very flexible because I steamed it so much. So I think it is actually 3 plies. But when 2 plies it will be like that. When 3 plies it will be like most vintage derbies you find on eBay if you have one. Kind of flexible but barely, and then to apply a 4th ply. So a 4th ply of gossamer is like this, except it is stuck to that fur thing. And then to apply, after the 4th ply, to apply one last layer of shellac and stick usually a velvet hood on top because it is stronger. And why is it velvet? You may think, why is it not fur? Like not fur, but felted wool. Now this is my theory, thinking about it a lot. I think it is because eventually it shrinks, the wool, but this gossamer thing and the felt methods of things will not shrink, or it will take like a century to shrink. So if it shrinks, also the thing not barely being flexible, it will kind of detach from it. So they put the best hooves in velvet are probably half, like 40% silk, 60% cotton, so it does not shrink, it does not last as long, but this is not the big cost, it does not shrink, it is still quite resistant and all. Now, in some rare cases they put silk plush. This was rare and luxury thing, and silk plush is not strong, so what they will do is rather than polish it with the tallow, the shellac, for the better ones, which gives the same result but it looks even more glazed, they polished it with a polish that contained a lot of things to waterproof it, but the result, rather than being glossy like here, this is with tallow, so it is a sort of barely oily gloss. The Velour one, which is a bit harder to do with but which you can't take off, so make sure you want it to look like that, because once you do it, it is done for life. With the shellac, gives it a more iced, cleaner, less oily, non-oily gloss. Then you have this sort of oily gloss, and the proper waterproofing one